Here's the cows again. Bunch of cattle. Watch out, Kelly. There's one still crossing. You want to go slow. They're on the left. See the brown ones? They're coming across the road. Go real slow. You know how they jump out in front of vehicles sometimes. That one on the left. Watch her. So there she is. Yeah, good. She's waiting. We made it. Well, looks like we got some snow up there, Kelly.
Sure did.
We're going to try to do some snowshoeing and maybe some little cross-country skiing, see what we can find. What do you think, Kelly? I think that's about the normal for this time of year, snow-wise?
Yeah, for the average year.
This is always a pleasant drive out here because there's hardly ever any traffic, especially during the off-season. We decided to head up to Parker Lake since we've got some snowshoes with us, but we may not be doing any skiing today, unfortunately, because there just isn't enough snow in the lower elevations, and a lot of the passes in our area are closed this time of year, so we could go into the June Lake area, but we decided to go over here to Parker Lake and hike up to the lake. Whoa. I'm kind of wanting to try out these new snowshoes I got. There's a business in northern Minnesota. It's only 14 miles away from the Canadian border, near Warroad, Minnesota, known for its hockey players. And there's a family business there that makes all kinds of toboggans and sleds and traditional snowshoes. So I got myself a Ojibwe style traditional snowshoes. I always prefer the traditional snowshoes. They have more traction, better flotation. And maybe we'll be able to try them out. We have the whole parking lot to ourselves. So imagine we'll have the whole trail to ourselves. Okay, so we decided to bring our snowshoes this trip, and we're expecting to hit some deep snow, a little bit higher elevation. And what we've got here, we've got two styles of snowshoes. These are the modern ones, and you can see they're smaller and have these cleats here for traction. And you might think, oh, well, these modern ones are supposed to be a lot better than the traditional ones. Well, there's pluses and minuses to both of these. And the thing about these are made out of ash wood. They're handmade. And if you notice, the footprint on these is bigger on this. So these have better flotation on the snow than these modern ones do. These will sink in more than these. These will stay up on the top. And these they don't have to have that little cleat in front like that, because this webbing is enough traction to keep them from slipping. So we have to thank the Native Americans of North America, USA, and Canada for coming up with these. And they come in different styles. This one here is an Ojibwe style, and it's good for traveling in open country more than some of the other types are. But anyway, so these are brand new. I just got brand new pair here and everything, so I'm really excited to try them out. And Kelly's going to bring her modern ones, so that's the difference. We're heading into the Ansel Adams Wilderness. Oh, the creek's not frozen.
Doesn't sound like it is.
There's Mono Lake in the distance. So again, we're the only ones here. We'll be heading up into that valley. Right about the base of that mountain is where Parker Lake is. Beautiful day for a hike, isn't it?
It's very pretty up here today.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if there's going to be ice on the lake or if it's going to be completely frozen over. Have to wait and see what we find. Oh, there's the trout. A small one. There's another one. They're pretty small though. Yeah, I saw a couple of smaller trout go skirting off the edge. One went up that way, one went downstream. But no ice. It seems like it's had that little bit of a warm spell. I bet this had ice on it a couple weeks ago, probably. I can see where the snow is deeper on the side of the mountain, just as I was anticipating. I have to see how far down it comes and if it's close to the lake shore or not. We won't know till we get there.
Well, you can see where it's a little bit deep right here. You could have wore snowshoes.
Oh, it's so worth coming up here for everybody. Really beautiful. I go down this slope and over the sagebrush.
Look how these snowshoes the snow just sifts right through those. That's kind of cool.
Going in with the pretty thick woods. No problem. No problem at all. Just gotta watch where you're going. Well, after that little snowshoe shortcut, we're already up to the lake. Look at that. Oh, it's not frozen. No, it's snow on it. I think it's mostly frozen. It's just this part where it's moving by the creek that's not. That's some dangerous ice to go out on, that's for sure. Huh. We're not going to go on the ice though. We're going to go along the bank. Watch out, Kelly, it's all ice. It's still pretty. Look at that one hole. You see that hole right there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can sneak out.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'm walking on the snow that's mixed with the ice. This gets a little bit of better traction. Very carefully. Still on solid ground though. Oh, it's slick. There's like this, almost looks like some kind of an upwelling. There's the lake. Just beautiful here. Snow's getting kind of deep. We might want to put our snowshoes back on. Beautiful lake right there. Parker Lake. This is so fun. It's not cold at all. Glad you could join us, everybody. We're having a great time. The lake's not frozen on the other side. See, it's open. We're taking a break after that huffing and puffing over that little hill. But we heard this sound. It sounded like a boom or something. And it was the ice on the lake. We think that the sun hit this ice and maybe it melted just enough to crack it somewhere. But it's a very odd sound. So Kelly, we could keep on going up that canyon, up the mountain. You want to go up that way? Or do you want to go maybe around the lake, the other side, see if we can get across this creek?
I'd like to go around the lake if we can.
Yeah, I see right down in there, it looks like the creek is coming in. There's some deep snow. We've got snowshoes. We could get across a little ways right till we get to the creek, and then we can take a look at it and see if it's crossable or not, or just come back the same way we came.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah. It's a little bit higher up. I don't want to go farther down that slope because if we slide down there, we could end up on the ice. So I'm with you. Let's take the high route right there. There's no way we can safely get across that lake because I don't trust the ice thickness. So we better stay on land and just go around it, don't you think?
Yeah.
Part where I was kind of worried about if it were to slide off, you'd just go right to the bottom of the hill down to the lake, you know.
Oh boy.
We don't want to do that. This is just tough with snowshoes or no snowshoes. It's really steep and it's just tricky. Just tricky business. Trying to keep focus where I'm walking so I don't go sliding down there. Ooh, it's getting deep. Keep on moving. I can tell myself. Keep on moving. The faster I move, the quicker I get off this edge. Whoa. Okay. Getting cold when that sun got blocked and the wind picked up. We're going to try to cut across this. And I think the creek has 2 or 3 little tributaries that go into the lake, so we're going to see if we can ford over those and get to the other side. We might have to turn around. We won't know until we get there. Safety is always our first priority. So what do you think, Kelly? Are you liking this so far?
Yeah, strenuous coming around that side, but yeah, I do.
So notice all the willows in that low area. We're going to try to cut across right where the trees start, so hopefully it's a little bit drier. So we have a little bit ways to go. But you can see the trail a little bit better, how it hugs the side of the mountain. Go right up in there to that pass if you wanted to. You sure you don't want to go up there today, Kelly?
Nope.
Not today? Okay. Maybe another time. We'll go up there another time, everybody. I'm gonna head across this. That's Mono Lake in the distance, beyond those trees. Yeah, last summer I was up in there, surrounded by wildflowers and eating my lunch, being buzzed by myriads of hummingbirds. It was amazing, beautiful. Now it's winter. There's a look up into the ridge of the mountains. I'm glad Kelly doesn't want to go up there. I think it's too far for today. We could.
It's too icy.
Yeah. I would have gone up there.
Well, you can go ahead.
Yeah, will you wait for me?
Yeah,
I'll be back in 8 or 9 hours.
Maybe I'll walk back to the car.
Trying to focus this view for everybody so they can see it. This is a seldom seen view. Not too many people come up here in the wintertime. So quiet. As long as we don't hear those jets, it's just, you can just hear the wind, that's it. It's hard to find. What? Oh, I can barely hear that plane though. It's hard to find places that are desolate like this these days in our modern world, you know? Makes it kind of special. Well, if you're thinking of California being palm trees and beaches, well, this is another side of the eastern Sierra of California. It's deep, but it's too steep for the snowshoes, I think. It's hard to tell how steep this really is, but it's pretty steep. The snow's about 2 feet deep in here, so we're going to put our snowshoes back on because we're post-holing it pretty bad. This is like the perfect kind of country for snowshoes, a little bit flatter, you know. So pretty when the sun comes out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Feels good.
Yeah. We'll make better time with these snowshoes on cutting through this. It's too deep. It's almost 3 feet. Still have our snowshoes. There was a pile of scat back there, and it looked like bear scat, but there was no bear paw prints by it, so it must have been a smaller animal. I'm thinking maybe a fox. We did see some fox tracks close by, so. We're having to take the long route through here because there's so many downed trees. There's the lake. Okay. Oh, I'm getting hungry also. Get up this draw. Has a couple thin spots in the snow. See if I can go up this steep part. Oh, I made it. Oh. Well, Kelly, if we went up in that canyon, we would have been in the shade the whole way up there and coming back.
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah. I think you're right, Kelly. I think probably the best route is to go here where we know there's some deep snow here, because we're getting to the south-facing slope where there's no snow at all because it's all been melted and there's rocks in there. So I think I agree, we should just snowshoe up through this deep snow. When we get on the other side of that field, take the snowshoes off, and then we'll be able to get on the dry ground and then go right around that way and find ourselves a nice little picnic spot in the sun.
Sounds good to me.
We're gonna take our snowshoes off right in here because we're running out of snow. This is the side of the mountain that has no snow on it because it melts. We are so ready for lunch. The water is such a nice color. It's so clear. Oh, we finally got over to this log. Is that the log you were talking about you wanted to sit on for lunch? The one in the water?
Well, I don't know about the one in the
What?
water, but I'm good with any
Really?
place in the sun.
Well, if your feet are hot, we could sit on that log and you could dangle your feet in the water.
The feet aren't that hot.
There's a thin sheet of ice starting to form, or starting to thaw, I should say. It's so clear, you just see right to the bottom. Look at that. I don't see any fish though. That's a massive dead tree. I think this would be a good spot. It's sunny, it's out of the wind a little bit. This is our lunch spot this time. None of that on the side of the cliff nonsense.
No, the side of a tree this time.
On the lake, there's a spot where it's not frozen, and it's right on the edge. It's interesting how the light's reflecting on it. We're not sure if it's thawing right there or just where the ice is. The cold wind's coming off the mountain, and it's so fast we think that the water's moving, so it's keeping it from freezing. And then there's ice, a thin sheet of ice on this side of the lake, we think it's melting at the moment. We'll probably freeze over again as soon as the sun goes down this evening. It's our cookie clip. This is our lunch spot, and they are excellent. Glad you could join us, everybody. We just hiked out of Parker Lake, and in the distance you can see Mono Lake. I'm sure part of Parker Creek must go into Mono Lake, and part of it probably goes into the Los Angeles water system. But it sure is a pretty day, and we just found out that there is a storm blowing in, so this is kind of the calm before the next storm, and the wind did pick up during lunch. We were just enjoying this hike out though, and the beautiful pine trees are blocking the cool winter winds that are racing down the canyon.